So, California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, he's in the news again. He says he is taking some new measures to combat the fentanyl crisis gripping San Francisco. San Francisco, for a lot of people, has just become a complete den of hell. NewsNation, or rather Newsom, will send the California Highway Patrol and the state's National Guard to San Francisco to help local police fight the drug crisis there. Fentanyl has just blown up. People shooting up on the streets. Some are questioning how effective his new approach could possibly be. We're joined right now by Joel Aylworth. He spent 14 years as a police officer in San Francisco and Oakland. And I want to thank you, first of all, for being with us. I'm a native Californian. I grew up in the Sacramento area, Placer County, very familiar with the CHP. So let's talk a little bit about this. Okay, so first I want to talk about these crime statistics. Apparently, as of 2021, which is unfortunately the most recent year where they have this data, San Francisco doesn't even crack the top 100 most dangerous cities in the U.S. But again, we are now a year and a half past that data. It seems as though San Francisco has really sunk to a new low, especially since the pandemic. So why in the world would the CHP be used to help in this situation?
A couple things to address that, right? Number one is when we look at the crime statistics they want you to see, we're talking about homicides, rape, sexual assaults. Those have always been historically low in San Francisco, so that's a great statistic to give you. But what we're not looking at is violent crime, robberies, and thefts. Let's look at that. That's the thing that they don't want you to know about, and that's continually gone up. The other thing to look about is results. I'm about results. I don't care about all the numbers and all these other things. We've got Walgreens shutting down, Target is locking up, Whole Foods, which was supposed to be their flagship, concoction, just shut down after only being a year open. So why is that happening? You got to ask yourself, exactly, why are we doing this? There must be a grave danger compared to what we're being told in the outface, right?
Well, I mean, again, the CHP, the California Highway Patrol, they help investigate accidents, traffic violations. Maybe they could block some streets off, but that's not going to stop the drug war. The National Guard saying it does not have boots on the ground in San Francisco and will only deploy a team of 14 people to work with the city, which makes it sound to me like they're just strategizing with police officers who are already overworked and underappreciated. So is this pointless? I mean, is this just all politicking from the governor?
It's 100% politicking. Nothing's going to happen. I've been a police officer, like you said, almost 15 years. I've worked in these joint operations with CHP and with the feds, and nothing's going to happen. They were giving them 14 analysts. Okay, that means they're going to be doing things in an office, and we don't need any more intelligence gathering. We're talking about a fentanyl crisis in a very, very small area in San Francisco. The cops in the Tenderloin, they don't need anybody to analyze and give them intelligence. Right. They know where the drugs are happening. It's at Turk and Taylor. Just walk down the street, you can see it. And as far as CHP, like you said, they're a great organization for writing a lot of tickets, towing cars, and doing DUIs. They are not going to get out of their car and stop drug dealers on the street. Make no mistake about it. That's not going to happen. And by the way, even if they do make stops, they don't understand people in the Tenderloin, the criminals. The criminals will do the crimes right in front of them because they know nothing's going to happen to them, even if they get arrested.
It's always in the light of day. I mean, San Francisco notoriously, before the pandemic, you'd find people shooting up, doing drugs right there in broad daylight, right in front of like the stores that you like to shop at, like Nordstrom. But one more quick question
Adrienne,
for you.
I would walk out of the police station at Tenderloin Station and people would have needles in their arms. No joke.
Yeah, they're desperate there. I mean, it is a cry for help, I think. I think they want to get caught, captured, arrested so that they can at least be safe behind bars. But San Francisco Mayor London Breed asked for federal help in the city's drug and crime conflict or crisis, saying the problem is beyond our local capacity. Is there a solution? Do you think there's something that can be done that maybe the governor's not putting on the table?
Not in the short run. I mean, what we really need is what you said. CHP is not going to solve the problem, and neither are the feds. They need staffing, and they don't have it. We're at an all-time low. SFPD has about 800 cops, and they need about 1,900. So we're well below the staffing, and they're never going to get it. I think they also need to look at alternative solutions, and it's not going to happen. I mean, there's some innovative technologies out there. I think there's a company I know known as Elysium, and they're doing some creative stuff with rescue drugs. I think that might be a better solution.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.